Fellow Guyanese, I've seen many reports and social media posting by Azruddin Mohamed and his handlers, in which he continuously make the false claim to suit, of course, his own false narrative that it is the government of Guyana that sanctioned him. Let me be lucidly clear. Azruddin Mohamed was sanctioned by the United States government after they would have found evidence strong enough to have OFAC sanctioning him. OFAC sanctioning are not ordinary sanctions. They are sanctions that seek specific measures. Now the question before us is Azruddin Mohamed a national security threat? Is he a security risk for Guyana? And let me be lucidly clear on this also. Yes, he is a risk for Guyana. He is a risk for many reasons. And because he is a risk, the sanctions outline a series of effects that will come about as a result of the sanctions itself. And why is he a security risk to our country? He is a risk to our financial system. I would ask the media and all its handlers to ask the commercial banks why they cannot conduct financial transactions with him. Ask the insurance companies why they cannot conduct transactions with him. Ask the persons who rented his buildings why they had to exit his buildings and cannot conduct financial transactions with him. So, when we speak about national security, we are speaking about the security of our state, our natural resources, our financial system, everything. So, yes, he is a risk to our financial system. Yes, the sanction identified him as a key figure in gold smuggling, defrauding the state of Guyana over 50 million US dollars in just about 5 years. So yes, is he a threat, security threat to our financial system? Yes. Is he a threat to our natural resources, credibility and transparency? Yes. Who defined this? Not the government of Guyana. The United States government, in its sanction that did a comprehensive investigation, has identified him as a threat to our financial system, as a threat to our natural resources system. He is also a threat to our diplomacy. And our diplomacy is linked to the defense of our sovereignty and territorial integrity. In those sanctions, the US government has made it very clear that the US government or agencies or businesses cannot conduct business with him. So is he a threat to our diplomacy? Yes. Is our diplomacy linked to our national security? Yes. Is our security linked to our relationship with key allies like the US in defense of our border, Yes, it is. This does not require rocket science. These are the facts. Our national security and the greatest threat is that of Venezuela. Is Azruddin Mohamed a threat to the defense of this border against Venezuela? Yes. because our key ally has identified him to the extent that he is sanctioned by them. Let's move on. Let us not be naive about this. This is not about the government of Guyana. This is about our security, architecture, and infrastructure. We know, and we are clear, all of us are clear, about our key partners in the defense of our borders. This is not about politics. This is about our country. This is about our security. And let me be very clear. These investigations were there long before he announced his political ambition or aspirations. These things did not come about yesterday. The congressmen and women, I'm sure, are given brief about every individuals. The government of Guyana don't influence what these people say. They have an entire office, an entire infrastructure that verify, that research, that give them information. That is not the role of the government of Guyana. And if the US has identified potential risk for Guyana, we have a responsibility to address and go deeper to find out what are the linkages to this risk. What are the connections to this risk? What does this risk expose our country to? So the US government has made it clear that they have enough evidence which they're pursuing in relation to this matter. It is not the government that accuse or publicize. It's not the government that publicize Azruddin Mohamed linked to gold smuggling, drug trafficking, links to Venezuela, and other illegalities. These accusations and publications was not the government of Guyana. It is Reuters that published an international article in which they claim that they had enough evidence based on their research to link Azruddin Mohamed to the things that they identified: gold smuggling, drug trafficking, links to Venezuela, illegality. So, and this was long before he announced his candidacy. So this sympathy narrative, as if the government of Guyana is the entity that is going after him, is totally false. The government of Guyana has a responsibility to secure our country, secure our people, secure our institution, and we are investigating all the links that put our financial system, our natural resources, our borders, our national security, our diplomacy at risk. Because we have to do it, we must do it in keeping with our national interests. And perhaps those who were in charge of the system prior to this government coming in place should also say whether they were aware or they had information of the risk this individual posed to our national security. They should honestly speak about this. We have no interest in going after, I don't even want to say political lightweight, like Azruddin Mohamed. Let me be very clear. It is international agencies, entities, and governments that has made it very clear. Is there an active investigation on Azruddin Mohamed, internationally and locally? Yes, we all know this. This is public information. Long before he announced his presidency, after the sanctions, a series of actions based on evidence and information that is submitted continues to be pursued. I am not at liberty to speak at length about these, but the security agencies, international, US, and locally, are aware of this. The public is aware of this. Mr. Azruddin Mohamed is aware of this. So this narrative to gain sympathy by blaming the government of Guyana is a lie of the highest order. So yes, are we aware of active investigations? Yes, of course. The public is aware. The international community is aware. The financial system is aware. The narrative that we somehow can control and direct what congressmen and women can say is totally out of place. As I mentioned earlier, these people have an entire mechanism through which to do their work. Azruddin Mohamed is absolutely no threat to the People's Progressive Party electoral victory. Absolutely. In his imaginative head, he may believe our support is strong, intact, and we don't need to move away from facts and what is there. So don't use your current situation that you brought upon yourself because of your action to paint a picture of political victimization. The world and every right-thinking Guyanese know that this is a total lie and far from the truth. So, as your president, unlike Mr. Azruddin Mohamed, who can act selfishly and sacrifice our national security, I have a responsibility as your president to ensure our national security, to ensure our country remains strong, stable, and secure, and also to ensure that our relationship with our allies and our diplomatic work is intact to secure every square inch of this country. And that is my most important concern. Thank you all for allowing me to set the record straight. Onward to victory. Forward together for a better Guyana.